Hey YouTube. So I just wanted to give an update on how my life is going, and I wanted to speak in retrospect of recent events. So first, I'd like to start with the positives. A few months ago, I achieved an ACT score of a 34, which is in the 99th percentile of all high school students. I hope this will make up for my rank of 307 out of 514 due to the situations that I have encountered in these past few years. Also, good news, I've been accepted into the University of Texas at San Antonio, which is my backup school. Although this isn't my dream school, it's still nice to know that I have some university to attend in case I don't make it into UT Austin and other top tier colleges. Furthermore, I believe that by attending a four-year university, I encourage other students to pursue their educational passions. This is crucial for students with Asperger's syndrome, ADHD, autism, and other so-called disabilities. Oftentimes, these students are left alone, feeling helpless and daunted by the idea of a higher education. They feel different and aloof from society. All these students are capable. However, they desperately need someone to encourage and believe in them, and the education system that they encounter from elementary school all the way up to high school just doesn't always do that. And I'm afraid to say that's true, but it is. I've encountered the same education system, and I struggle with it every single day. I honestly think that by taking initiative to pursue higher level academics, I set a precedent for these children, and I show other children in my position that they can do whatever they set their minds to. So it's good that I was accepted into UTSA's pre-engineering program, and I really hope that in the coming months I might get accepted into Berkeley, NYU, Brown, or other selective colleges that I applied to. Now onto the troubling aspects. For those friends who attend DHS with me, you guys may have recognized how aggressive and anxious I've been lately. And I'd like to apologize for any events that may have come out of these emotions. The truth is, a lot of my friends have been abandoning me this year for various reasons. Some are uncomfortable with me because of the way I express my emotions and always say things like I love you, although I speak from a platonic perspective. Others have various reasons to simply treat me different. Many of the people who shun me have supporters who happen to also be my friends. Whenever I try to express my feelings, these people either disregard them or cut me off before I can divulge my emotions. At some times, I feel as if everyone is targeting me for some reason or another. If I ever try to express my emotions, I am shunned, that too by the people that I love the most. In fact, not only am I shunned, oftentimes I end up getting into trouble. Like the other day, a police officer almost arrested me because my friend and I were in an argument and I was yelling at her because I couldn't express my point of view without getting cut off. And there were other people around who were supporting her. It's an extremely tense situation. And I end up getting into trouble for all of these situations. It is at that point I become extremely hurt and I try to be heard by others. I yell, I get angry, I show my hurt, you know? I don't physically react, not that I recall at least, because I don't have the heart in me to hurt people. At least, I don't believe I do. But I do become verbally aggressive, and I would like to apologize for that because I know it's wrong. I have constant arguments with the people that I am close to, and this often ends up in a yelling match. I really want someone to help me and be on my side. I want to know that someone understands that although I can work on some things, these behaviors from other people, as well as my responses to them, are not okay. As someone with Asperger's, I often find it hard to communicate my feelings in an effective manner. For attempting to communicate my feelings, as I just mentioned, I often get into trouble to a point which I am separated from literally any social contact with my peers whatsoever. So, I was recently somewhat pressured to sign a stay-away contract with somebody. And for those of you who don't know, stay-away contracts are for, like, abuse, sexual harassment, bullying, harassment cases, you know? And the funny thing is, although a couple of times I had arguments with this one person who the principal instituted a stay-away contract for me for, there were also a couple of incidents that were recorded which apparently were extremely nonviolent. So I would literally just ask her, hey, where are you going, you know? And she would say, well, I'm going to World Quest or something, or a club like that. And that was used as an incident for some reason, because apparently that's what they call harassment. She doesn't want to talk to me, so I can't even ask her where she's going. And yeah, so I don't get that. I really don't get that. Because people shun me, the administrators that I trust to help me with my feelings and help me deal with the emotions and with my social relationships, since I am in special education, actually end up going against me, it seems, and I end up becoming punished for wanting to show my emotions. And I am not saying that I am not responsible for anything. I have yelled. I have done wrong things before. I take full responsibility for my actions, and I want to say to those who were affected by them or witnessed them that I am truly sorry. I'm truly sorry for whatever wrong that I may have committed. At the same time, I really want people to try and see things from my perspective. This year has been so ridiculously rough on me, and it's not even a joke. One of my best friends invited me and then rudely uninvited me from his homecoming group. Another one of my close friends, who happens to be the one I have a stay-away contract with, and who's always been there for me, left when I started imposing my anger on her through yelling and arguments, which is a mistake that I made that I will forever regret. And, you know, often when you're close to someone, it becomes really easy to express your feelings. Sometimes even go overboard and get mad and yell at them when you're stressed out with other situations. And that's really one of my issues. I tend to take out my anger on those that I love, including my parents, this close friend of mine, and several other close friends. And I understand that although I may feel a certain way, that is wrong of me to divert my anger from one situation to another person who's not responsible for that anger or stress. And I would like to ask for forgiveness. Other friends did similar things, and the funny part is nobody once thought how I might feel about them. Nobody regarded my heartbreak as an issue, citing that it's natural, and if people want to reject me, they have the right to do so. You see, in this world, it's not really about what is right. It's more about what people have the right to do. So if I want to treat people in a discriminatory manner, I have that right. If I want to hurt someone emotionally, although there are certain laws against emotional abuse, I have that right to a certain extent. I can exclude people. I can do a bunch of shit. And that's the thing. It's okay to do that. I didn't know that. In school, it's okay to exclude others. It's okay to treat people differently. And that's the thing I just can't comprehend. Why is it okay? You know? I thought that was known as bullying. I thought that was, bullying, it doesn't necessarily have to be physical. I thought that was a form of bullying. I thought that was or at least it could be, that was a form of, well, in a sense, it's kind of like a condescending attitude, if you ask me. It's like saying, hey, I'm better than you. I'm too good for you. I'm not going to hang with you. I'm not going to accept you. And I get it. Not everyone can accept everyone, but with me, it kind of starts feeling like next to nobody accepts me. Maybe I have like one friend, and I do value him a lot. His name's Benjamin. He's a really sweet guy. Yeah. But, and I guess I have one or two more friends, but the thing is, I end up in more conflicts with the people I love. And I'm extremely stressed with that. So I'm at odds with the ideals that I was once taught when I was a child. And although I don't uphold all of these ideals, I do uphold, or at least try my best to uphold, not excluding others, always trying to be friendly. And, well, yeah. The truth is, from my experiences, I've learned that we don't live in an idealistic world. We live in an unfair, cruel world filled with people who make promises that they don't keep, commit actions which are extremely discriminatory, and then remain indifferent about them. So, I'm Christian, and a lot of my friends are Christian, some of these, in Christianity, I like to think that it's normal for us to sin, as we are human. We are sinners. But the thing is, after you sin, you have to ask for forgiveness from God. You have to recognize your sin and do your very best, your level best, not to sin again. I can't state that I haven't repeated my sins before. I have a lot. In fact, I deal with lust. I deal with I deal with like I just mentioned, this anger. Sometimes I deal with jealousy. I ask for forgiveness. And for those of you who don't believe in Christ or don't believe in God whatsoever, I am not trying to impose my beliefs on you. However, I do believe that as humans in general, we should all seek remorse for our sinful actions. But it seems like that philosophy just doesn't exist. At least not in our teenage years. I'm judging the world, however. I myself admit that I am a sinner and am not absolved from the consequences of my transgressions. Thus, I would like to seek forgiveness for the aggressive behavior that I have displayed in the past few weeks. For not even my stress can accommodate for that. Even despite this, I ask others, including my adversaries, to try and see things from my perspective. I am someone who was at a treatment center for 2 years and felt extremely alone. I came back to DHS in hopes of regaining some of my past friends, seeking a better education, and well, sometimes it seems that I have failed in doing so. I see all of my close friends smiling at each other, laughing, playing, and hanging out. I wish more than anything that I could be with them. A lot of this drama has had effects on my grades, and altogether I'm struggling emotionally, socially, and academically once again. And the people that I'm supposed to trust, my art committee, the principal, they're good people. I'm not saying they're bad people, but the system is just set up in this weird way that it just doesn't help me. I don't feel. I feel like I'm alone in these situations. I feel like that I'm always going to struggle with this, and that I won't have anyone to help me express my point of views, or well, my thoughts and feelings to a lot of my other friends that I have conflicts with in a respectable manner. And well, as I mentioned, I end up getting in trouble for expressing my feelings rather than getting help to express my feelings in a good manner. So obviously, I'm at odds with the education system that is in place. And at times, I feel like I can't even trust some of the educational professionals to listen to me, because whenever I do trust them, something drastic ends up happening. Like, I get sent to a treatment center. The stay away contract, like I mentioned. Or something that doesn't actually help me socially, rather it kind of separates me from people, and it kind of makes me feel like I'm the bad guy or that I'm at fault. And I don't think that this is the intention of these educational professionals, but that's what it ends up translating to in my mind. I was taught that exclusion was something nobody should take part in, and I try to uphold these values in my life. Yet when I am sad because a person excludes me or treats me different, I always seem at fault. No, nobody says directly, Debarshi, you're at fault, but they always say something like, think about your actions, think about what you do that turns people off. At that point, I feel like the world justifies the actions of people who treat others exclusively and judges me for being different. On a lighter note, despite all of this, I still care about all these friends, regardless of whether or not I've had a conflict with them. Valentine's Day is coming up, and I am making some private videos for friends, sort of like TBHs, to be honest. Although I have my own list of people, if you would like a video, please just let me know via Facebook, or even email, debarshikunduzero@gmail.com. This is Debarshi, signing off.